we are ready for our sessions on consumer behavior. Consumer behavior is one of the specialist courses in marketing. Marketing, you all know marketing is a very interesting subject. We have a lot of interesting areas in marketing. Consumer behavior happens to be one of the areas in marketing. And when we talk about consumer behavior, there's a little bit of a confusion what it is. Like what we study there is not the traditional marketing. When I talk about consumer behavior and when I am teaching you consumer behavior, you will find that I am using a lot of other subjects like psychology, sociology, even economics. I add a little bit of psychology, a little bit of economics, a little bit of sociology, a little bit of anthropology, and some marketing also. Everything together, it becomes consumer behavior. Consumer behavior is what we are going to see in our coming few sessions. This is our first session today, and in this session, I propose to tell you what is consumer behavior, why study consumer behavior, what are the underlying principles of consumer behavior, and how you should study a consumer behavior. When I say how you should study, it is not just from the examination point of view, but as a marketer studying consumers activities. How should he study? All that we are going to see in this chapter on consumer behavior. And every session, as I go forward, I will be giving you some vignettes or some small cases in the beginning or maybe during some time in the session. I will be giving you the main points as it comes in a PPT, and at the end of the session, I will do a small review of what I did in the session, and I will be giving you an activity for you to think about, to plan as a practical activity, to see how what you studied in the session you will be able to utilize in your day-to-day life. So we are set, we move forward to consumer behavior. Now I am going to start not with the definition, I am going to start with a small case. All of us know Procter & Gamble, a very big company in India as well as in the world. It's a very big company. Procter & Gamble is one of the companies that studies consumer behavior in a very professional manner. And we are going to see how they did this consumer study through consumer research in one of their products. Procter & Gamble introduced a product that is washing powder. What I am telling is not in India, it's abroad. The washing powder was a good product, but they found that it was not selling well. Consumer was not accepting the product well. They wanted to see why. Why is it that the consumer is not accepting this product? They decided, let us do a consumer research. And you know, it's a big company. They have a lot of options for consumer research, and they did a very comprehensive consumer research study, interviewing probably thousands of consumers and prospective consumers, asking them about the product, why you are using our product, why you are not using our product. A lot of information was collected from consumers, and they made a proper report on how the customer reacted to their product. To their surprise, they found that consumers are more interested in giving their products for dry cleaning rather than washing it at home. They wash it at home once in a while, but they give for dry cleaning also, and dry cleaning was given more preference than washing at home. So why was it so? Because they felt dry cleaning washes, even though it is a little expensive, it is time consuming, but still they found that dry cleaning was a more preferable item. And Procter and Gamble, they got this idea, they got this information. They said, we will use it. And you must look out what they did. They introduced a product, washing powder, which was actually a dry cleaning kit. It was a dry cleaning kit, and it gives you the washing powder, it gives you a bag in which you can put the clothes, and you can insert the bag in the washing machine. At an appropriate time, some chemical is released. So it's almost like a dry cleaning, but you are doing it at home. Procter and Gamble introduced the product. They did a large systematic advertising campaign. They gave a lot of demo pieces to consumers. They did a lot of consumer awareness studies. Everything was done. And finally, they found that the product was getting a very good acceptance. The product moved well, and Procter and Gamble, everybody was happy. So here we see what I am trying to say. They did consumer research. They understood the consumer's reaction and consumer behavior, and they designed their product to suit the customer's requirements. Therein it became a big success. So that is what every company has to do. They have to understand the customer and design the products to the needs of the consumer, and not the other way around. Many times we find people designing good, technically superior, excellent products, technically a very perfect product, but in the hands of the consumer, that fails. Consumer doesn't want it. Like we study in marketing, consumer should have a need for that product. If the customer doesn't have a need, why do we need to introduce the product at all? That is where the question comes. So, talking about marketers, one perpetual question that marketers continuously have: what makes people buy things, and what makes them buy again and again? I have made so many things to my product, I have made my product perfect, but it may not sell. What is it that makes people buy the product and buy it repeatedly? Making them buy is one thing, making them come back is again another challenge. So what is it that makes them do that? And we have a word for that. Some people call it connecting with customers. You must be able to connect with your customer. If you can connect with the customer, you will understand why they buy and why they do repeat purchase. You understand the customer, know who your customer is. Then design the product to suit the customer. That is what you have to do. Never it is other way around. We make a product, expect the customer to come to us. Those days are gone. That is, we had the product concept you should have seen in marketing. Now it is the era of the marketing concept. Or we say, marketing concept, we say customer orientation. A sort of orientation on the customer, or customer we say is king. It is the customer who decides what he wants, what he will buy. And understanding the customer, understanding the consumer is what takes us to what we say this consumer behavior. And every marketing strategy, it works best when you tailor it to the consumer and not to what you think he needs. Something marketing people should understand everywhere. The product has to be designed to what the consumer wants and not what you think he wants. Just think about that. Now, So coming to studying about consumer behavior, we will look at the definitions and all those things one by one. But before that, I must confess that our knowledge of consumer behavior is something that is inadequate. We are not perfect in knowing consumer behavior. A lot of research is going on all over the world, a lot of studies are going on. Still, nobody is able to project a perfect model for consumer behavior, telling the marketeer, you do this way, you do this way with your product, it will succeed. We do not have a model, unfortunately. That's also, but a lot of research is going on, and as I tell you, you will understand why I am saying this. Now we talk about the consumer. The marketing person must believe or must understand that every customer is a riddle without an answer. All of us like riddles. Somebody tells a riddle, you bring the solution. Those who have bright minds, they give solutions easily. Imagine a riddle without an answer. That is the status consumer behavior is today. Again, consumer behavior is like a theorem, we say, without proof. So many theorems you have studied in school. After studying the theorem, what you do is you study the proof. The proof is telling you that the theorem is right. And so we are convinced when the when end of the proof, you get the answer, the theorem is right. So that is giving you confidence. But here consumer behavior, it is a theorem, but no proper proof as yet any marketing person will be able to give you. That is the situation today. This is because consumer behavior is something very complex. Still we are just in the learning stages of consumer behavior.